And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have a magnificent guest with us today, one who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than our brother Ulysses Karriem. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam, brother.
Yes, sir. This means a great deal to myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast that you would take time out of your busy schedule to come give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. I've had the honor of interviewing many of your family members, your children, and I feel like I've know you from afar. We know you from afar through social media because your children post you all the time and your wife. So now we get to meet the patriarch of the family, and this is an honor. The first question that we have for you, sir, is before we went live, you spoke about you being a miracle baby. Can you let us know what you mean by that, sir?
Yeah, well, my mother had me at 5.5 months.
Mm.
It wasn't back then. They didn't have the amount of medicine they have today. I died 3 times and came back to life.
Mm.
I was so small you could hold me in one hand. You know, here, I got the article here. It was when the reporter came to my house to interview me when I was 11 years old.
Beautiful, yes, sir.
Read that to him.
All right. Okay.
Listen to my read. I can't read that without my glasses.
I don't think he wanted to read
You
all of
okay?
it.
You don't need to. Okay. Well, anyway, I died 3 times. I came back to life, and there's a little booty there. You know, when I was little, and that's me when I was 11 years old.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
The reporter came around looking for me a few more times. Wanted to put my picture in the newspaper, but I was so busy back then. I was a kid playing basketball and stuff. I told him some other time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. And all right. Well, I wanted to know, did that impact you later in life because you were born so early? Was that ever something you thought about or no?
No, not really. I never thought about it. Once my mother told me about it, and when they had the reporters, they had to trick me to get when they had the reporter. They told me, I forgot what they told me I was getting dressed up for something else. They tricked me like it was pictures at school or something like that. They told me something else to get me to do that because I wasn't really interested in it.
Yes, sir.
To me, it wasn't no big deal. I'm out here now. What are you worrying about that for? That's how I looked at it.
Perfect. All right. Well, I wanted to know, sir, when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Well, I heard the message teaching from Brother James Sixat when I was a little boy. We always used to go to a store on our way going to school. He's right next to the school. And then we got bused to the white school. We catch the bus right out there in front of there. So we'd always go into his store and to buy some candy, or he had French fries in a cup for $1, and he had homemade ice cream. And he was always teaching the message teaching. I was about 10 years old.
Mm.
That was the first time I heard the message teaching. And then I heard it again. My brother got incarcerated. My older brother got incarcerated, and he adapted. He accepted the message teaching. And then I had to hear it every night. We slept in bunk bed. He was up top, I was down the bottom, and he was just always he would say of course he knew about the message teaching. I got it there. And then when I really heard, I was about 15 or 16. I was going to the Uptown Theater to a concert at the Uptown Theater to see the Dells. You remember that brother held that note when he held that note that he held for like a minute and a half?
Yes, sir.
I seen it Friday night, and I was going back Sunday. And Min Farrakhan was on Soul to Soul, and I was getting all decked out. I said, "Who is this guy?" I seen him on TV, and my mother was sitting there watching it. I said, "Who is this cat? I never heard anybody sound like that." And it was Min Farrakhan. He was on Soul to Soul.
Mm.
I couldn't get that out of my mind. And then I heard about him a little later on. I hung out out in the streets. I was with
Wonderful.
I mean?
Yes, sir. And you said you were going to see the Dells?
I was going to see the Dells.
Yes, sir. So you was going to listen to Stay in My Corner.
Right. And he got
Yes,
here
sir.
for a minute and a half.
Yes, sir. I'm familiar. It's like my dad's like favorite group. He's always playing the deal, so I'm familiar with the song. Yes, sir. And people are showing you love all across the country, sir. Thank you, everyone who's watching. Brother Nelson from Massachusetts sends greetings. Both of my sisters, Miriam and Naima. Sister Amira, okay, of course, your daughter, and Sister Aisha saying, showing you love as well. And your nephew, Frank, is saying, showing love as well. Thank you all for watching the People's Podcast. All right.
My nephew watching?
Yes, sir.
You want Frank?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm surprised. Okay.
Yes, sir. So what I wanted to ask you is, what was it about the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad that resonated with you, sir?
The message teaching about my own culture identity. You know what I mean? Say it loud, you're black and proud. James Brown came out with that record back then about that year, 1968. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. You heard that record by James Brown?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that record came out, and that's what inspired me and the other guys in my era. Yeah. We decided to go down to the temple.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. And I heard that you had a very eventful life and that you've even witnessed a murder.
That was 11 years old, yeah. My brother. Yeah. My brother killed my sister's boyfriend. Yeah, you know, he was a situation that could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. But and then they got to tussling, and my brother, he had just got out. He had just got out of White Hill, which is a reform school or penitentiary for teenagers. And after he got had the knife in his hand. I guess he forgot he had the knife in his hand because he told the guys to get up. Them little punches didn't hurt you. And I guess he looked down and seen the knife in his hand. He had a knife in his hand, little small pair of knife, about like one that big. And that's the first time. And his hand was moving like a pistol. And my mother had told the other guys, don't stop taking my brother out to drink because he was too young. He was only 18. The other guy
Yes, sir.
My mother kept telling him, don't take him, he's too young to drink. Don't do that. Stop taking him out to drink. But he wouldn't listen, he was hard-headed. He kept taking him out to drink. And at his class, he went down to his friend's house, and he had this girlfriend. She was physically attractive, very nice little sister, built like a Coke bottle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, I was like 12 or 13, I was like a 10, 11. When we used to watch her walk down the street, every eye, all eyes turned to watch her.
Yes, sir.
Built the thrill. And then she had a record player. She wouldn't let nobody play this record player. Not even her boyfriend. But she was letting my brother play it. And then the boyfriend didn't like that. He got mad. So my brother and my sister's boyfriend was leaving. He wanted to talk to my brother. So my brother told the other guy, I said, I'm gonna go back in there and talk to him. He said, no, you ain't. He said, you gotta go through me before you go to my best friend. He sucker punched my brother and knocked his tooth out. And that angered him. He was so mad. That I think that's the reason why he probably took it to because he'd been in the penitentiary like 5 or 6 times. Been in a whole lot of fights. And nobody never knocked his tooth or nothing out. And here, this guy here does it with a sucker. So that was the part that really angered him. And when he got into it, you know, my mother told the guy to leave. And what he did was, instead of him just leaving, he goes around the back door. My sister goes around. We lived in an apartment. We had the second and third floor. My sister goes around the other door and brings him back into the room with her. And he's back there talking with her for about maybe 45 minutes. My brother was getting ready to lay down, go to sleep. And he's gonna walk back out past instead of going back around the other way that he snuck back in. My brother said, "Boy, didn't I tell you to leave?" And that's when they start tussling. And the guys kind of like this couch we had a bed on. He said it was in my room. He fell when he slipped and fell inside of that bed. He got on top of him with that knife. It was all over but the shouting, as they say. It was all over. He really stabbed him up good. All the guy could do say was,
Yes, sir.
I seen all that blood. That blood looked like looks like liver. I don't know if you ever seen a whole lot of blood. It looks like when it starts drying up, it looked like liver.
Yes, sir.
And that was one of the horrific times in my life. I witnessed that murder.
Yes, sir.
The detectives, they interviewed me, and I didn't have to go to court or nothing. They just interviewed me at the house. I told them my story, I told them what I saw, we went from there.
Yes, sir. Okay. Very interesting. And people, thank you all for continuing to show love to our brother. What I wanted to ask you is, on a lot of the pictures that I see of you on Facebook, is you and the family with children. What advice would you give to future husbands?
Well, it ain't an easy job, man. It's not an easy job. You got to work at it every day. You got to work at it. So you got to work at it. You marry, you got a wife, whatever you got a mother and sister. You got to think about you deal with your wife like that. I never hit my wife, and I've been married for 48 years. I don't like hitting on my sister. So I wouldn't want that. I don't do that. So that's one way you can stay around with your wife. I might fuss a lot. I might fuss a whole lot. Get pain in the behind. I'll never go the distance and strike.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. And what has been the key to 48 years of marriage?
Just working at it, brother. Working at it. Every day you got to work at it. It ain't like you. You got to work. You got to work. So something you got to work at every day. Every day, because you're married to somebody, you learn something new about them every day. From day one to your present day. Whether you're with them 5 years, 10 years, 15, whatever it is, you learn something. Looks like you learn something new every day. You know what I mean? But it might be a negative aspect of that you find out about them, or it could be something positive and good. So you learn something new every day.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. And what advice would you give to future fathers?
Future father. That's a good question, brother. I would tell them, look to get married first. Try not to look for the good part. Just be patient and get married first. Married first. That's one thing I agree with that guy that we used to, the love guru, was the one guy, Kevin Samuels.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I watched him a few times, and that's what I like about him. He always tells the young ladies, tell my daughters, try to find a husband. These slicksters, you'll find a lot of slicksters out there. I mean, but you wanna, get married first. Bring a lot of trouble.
Yes, sir. Great advice. And people are showing you love all across the country. People saying thanks, OMG, praise be to Allah. Yes, this is wonderful, beautiful. All right. Well, I wanted to ask you about fear. Have you ever been faced with fear? And if so, how have you overcome that fear?
Well, 3 times. That was, you say fear. I mean, one time I was in the projects and we inside the building with gammas. We heard all this shooting, and right in the building right next to it. And they were shooting. And I was scared. I was thinking, well, how can I walk out of here? They might start shooting again. That was one time I seen fear there.
Yes, sir. Okay, great. Well, I wanted to ask you the name. When I see so many of you people, we call your son Brother Leroy Karriem and Brother Elijah Karriem, Sister Khadijah Karriem, Sister Aisha Karriem, Sister Amira Karriem. How did that name come about with you, sir? How did the name Karriem come about?
Mr. Farrakhan gave that name to my youngest son Leroy. The whole family.
Beautiful.
That's how we got the name. Mr. Farrakhan gave it to me. And that was good because I was trying to be Mr. Farrakhan, brother, since 1972. 1972. Before I got my ex, I was on form. I didn't get a chance to meet him. And then back then when you had your ex, you couldn't move around freely like you can today. You had to have a travel letter. If you wanted to go to another temple anywhere. You had to have a travel. You had to have a letter. And I was wanting to try to meet Mr. Farrakhan for all these years. And then my youngest son comes up, meets him and gets a name. You know, that was something. That was something. I was like, wow, ain't this something? And I told him, I said, you're not. You know, before he met him, I said, you'll never get to meet him. I said, man, don't you know, I was trying for 30, 40 years. I was back, and I couldn't meet him. And I said, you'll never get a chance to meet him. Sure, well, he went, no, he didn't get a chance to meet him. He gets a name and everything.
Yes, sir.
Gets to know him like personally. Yeah.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah. Well, I wanted to ask you, what was it about the minister in 1972 that made you see something in him? Like what was it about him back in the day?
We had a nickname for him. We called him the Mighty Burner. He would come on radio every Sunday. I would go listen to him on the radio. I think it was 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in. Come on at 7 o'clock every Sunday. And you can listen to him on the radio. I taped a lot of them sessions. I taped it. I got them old cassette tapes somewhere around. I can't dig them up. I still got a lot of them speeches he made. And that's another thing that helped me join the message teaching, because Mr. Farrakhan was such a good mouthpiece for the message. And he could shoot it out. He's called the Mighty Burner.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Okay, well, we have a few more questions for you, sir, but we have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. 1 second. Yes, sir. Thank you, everyone who continues to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for every anonymous Cash App and every anonymous donor to the People's Podcast. Thank you all very much. One moment, we're coming right back to our brother.
A camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. Sister Miriam's ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, and now Spanish book. All 3 available on Amazon.com. Sister Naima's Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studios of Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Kenneth's Bow Tie Maker Extraordinaire. He'll ship you bow ties anywhere across the nation. Dr. Henry Carter's King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad's COVID-19 Disinfected Cleaning Services, out of Chicago. Student Minister Sharif Muhammad's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, available on adulsharif.com. And lastly, Brother Joshua Muhammad's book, Cleopatra, as well as No Father, No Excuse, both available on Amazon. If you would like to donate or...
Okay, yes, sir. All right, now my next question for you, sir, is 1975, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad departs. How did that affect you personally?
Oh, drastically, but I was devastated. I was totally devastated. I hated it. I went into a daze. Alcohol, drugs, and alcoholics. I was totally depressed. I remember Mr. Farrakhan gave a speech, and he said when his mind shot out into space. And I remember when he said that, I said, wow, that's the same thing happened to me. Your mind shot right up, my mind shot right out into space. So what we're going to do now without the message? Because we always riding his coattail. Because the message was, he had a mighty voice. He rode all across America. We could ride his coattail with no problem.
Yes, sir.
So when I was in high school, Mr. Farrakhan came to talk over Widener University. He came to talk at Widener, and this teacher that taught Black Studies, right? She was somehow, she said she wasn't even going to come to the meeting. Now she could stand up to Mr. Farrakhan. Well, I'm sitting there at the meeting, and I looked over, and there she is up near the front row. She was there. And Mr. Farrakhan, he said, whoever don't believe what you heard back there is to stand up, I'll convert you. She didn't stand up, so I didn't get a chance to confront her to the next day in school. And I told her, I said, Mr. Farrakhan's almighty voice, we could stick him on anybody. So that's another reason why I love it, because we could put him up against anybody, whoever it was.
Beautiful, yes, sir. Excellent. Well, I also wanted to ask you about a situation with you in a van and stopping a van. Could you let us know about that?
Yeah, I was a lot camera that night. I didn't know I didn't know I was gonna be able to do that. The van was moving, it was going to the icy hill. My wife was behind the wheel. I mean, I got out, something I got out to do. And I seen the van was moving, and she couldn't do it. And I jumped up, on my first run, I was like, looked like Wesley Snipes. I jumped in, the van was going moving back, my wife said. What happened was, all I remember is when I got behind the wheel, I eased it, I took my foot on the brake real easy. And I got it when I got it to stop. And I was able to pull it back in and get it going back in the direction that we needed. But the real icy was up like on the hill. It's kind of hard to explain. It was on the hill like. And I had my little kids in there. My wife and my kids in there. So I said I had to do it. It even cost me my life. I had to try to stop it. But I was able to stop it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, wonderful. All praises due to
I didn't know
Allah.
my daughter did that. I didn't know she remembered that.
Mm.
She remembered that. She said, Dad, by the time you jumped in and saved the bed. I said, wow, I forgot. Not, you know. I forgot I did that. I forgot I did that.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, Sister Khadija, she speaks about that a lot in the podcast. She's always talking about her father and you saving her. And that's what I wanted to ask you about the difference between raising sons and daughters. What has been like? How do you handle that?
It's a hard job, brother, on both of them, believe it or not. But it might be a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder with daughters. Because they run into the wrong type of characters, and they can be slick. Women can be, for some reason, they can be sweet talking real easy. I've noticed that with my daughters. It's a hard job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what has been the greatest joy of your life, sir?
Oh, the greatest joy of my life is my wife. Yeah, she saved me, so she saved me. Without her, I probably wouldn't be here. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, and for historical purposes, may I have your wife's name, sir?
Mean it.
Okay, got it.
ID.
Beautiful. And your parents' name, sir?
My mother is Naomi Isabella. We'll take her. My father was Ulysses Grant.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And what outside of the Dells, what type of music do you like to listen to, sir?
Well, that's it there. Temptations is my favorite. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like Smokey Robinson, stuff like that. You know, Dells, OJ's. I'm true to form. I don't really,
Yes, sir.
Some of the rap stuff is okay. You know, I can tolerate it, but most of it's too filthy for me.
Yes, sir. And you can't go wrong with the Great Temptations and Smokey Robinson, all of Motown. Yes, sir. You named some beautiful artists and beautiful music. Your daughter, Sister Miracle Kareem, says, "Oh, her beautiful mother." My sister Naeem says, "All praise to Allah." My sister Miriam says, "That's beautiful." Sister Aisha Kareem says, you are her hero." Oh, I see the question, Sister Aisha. I'm coming right back to you. And Sister, your daughter Aisha says, "Beautiful, her amazing mother." And your sister Amira. Sister Amira, we look forward to you coming back on Top 5. And Sister Aisha, Aisha Kareem, we look forward to you playing your piano with the wonderful children. All right. There's a sister minister out of Phoenix named Aisha, and her question to you is, what made you come back to the nation after, the 80s, after the fall? What made you come back?
Kids. My kids?
Your children. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. My kids, as I'll tell you this, the message I told Malcolm. He said, the only possible, how can I get to people? He said, message to them, go after the young, the old, and follow in shame. My kids made me feel embarrassed. My young kids, going on with Mr. Farrakhan. I said, I can't let these kids out here.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. That's amazing, man. Shout out to all the children for holding it down and everybody saying, oh, that's excellent. Okay. I also wanted to ask you, will you ever write a book? Because you have a very eventful life. Would you ever write a book about your personal life?
I've been thinking about that for a long time, called The Miracle Baby.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, I had a picture here of some of the brothers. Oh, I got this picture from Brother James. He passed his daughter. I don't know how to show it. I don't know. It's some of the old believers from Temple Number 12 when it first, around 1963.
Mm.
Can you see it? You can't see it. Can you see it from there?
No, sir, I can't see it from there. But I get it from 1963. My goodness. Yes, sir. And who were the laborers in 1963 in Temple Number 12?
Yeah, well, I trust me, I just from hearsay, but this brother here told me about Brother James.
Okay, yes, sir, Brother James.
He's on. That's why I got this picture. I think that one there in the middle, straight back in the middle of that picture, I think that's Dr. Kamal Majid, the doctor.
Mm.
And then that kidney analysis machine, always straight back. Just wanted the picture straight back. That gentleman there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's Kamal Majid.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he was one of the top ministers in the nation. Some of the brothers who wasn't that right, they ran him out of town. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, There's a lot of, some brothers were for themselves, not for the nation, not for all of us.
Yes, sir.
So we had to get around that too. You had to move around that. So all the brothers who strive to be righteous, we kind of all hung together.
Mm.
We tried to be at every meeting together, everywhere we always stuck together.
All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, sir, what do you want your legacy to be?
That's a good question, young fella. I love me to. Right now, I really can't. I really wish I could say, but I really don't know right now.
Mm.
Really don't know.
Yes, sir. Well, how has being a grandfather impacted you?
Yeah, that's impacted me too. Believe me, because I would wish I could just make my grandkids do exactly what I think they should do. That's the truth, man.
Yes, sir.
My one grandson, he goes in and gets in trouble with the authorities and all that, and caused me to have to go get loans and keep him out of trouble and all that. So I don't like that kind of stuff,
Yes, sir.
I really didn't have one of my grandkids, I was in trouble with the police and the authorities myself. So I definitely didn't want my kids or grandkids to go that same route,
Yes, sir.
I really wanted to have his mind on going to college, make some other stuff. Yeah, so that's one thing I would like to have my grandkids get that focus, on the right frame of mind.
Yes, sir.
She's doing a lot of good stuff, music and all that. And she's good on computers. She makes money and she teaches music, does make money, and she does it for entertainment. So I wish all of them had. I want all of them to get that kind of friend.
Beautiful.
So busy. He's so busy. I don't have time for them.
Mm. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I thank you, sir, on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast. For the many.
Family's name, brother?
My family's name is Muhammad. My family's name is Muhammad. I'm Joshua Muhammad, and my dad is Brother Sharif Muhammad, and my mother is Sharifa Muhammad. And yes, sir. That's my family.
Gave you all that name, or minister, or minister?
The minister.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
One of the Messer's relatives, either the Messer's brother or his cousin, was married to my aunt. She died in childbirth. My cousin Robert Poole, he just passed away. 88 years old. My cousin Robert Poole. They lived down South Carolina, Seneca, South. And he told me, when I first came to Muslim, he said, yeah, I see. He told me, my cousin, I see y'all with my uncle.
Mm, beautiful.
I knew he was related to the master because the name Fool. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
name too. But he couldn't get him to join the message. Even though the message is I think more than likely his own. But we couldn't get him to join.
Mm, powerful. Yes, sir. Well, people are saying, showing you love, sir. And I just want to thank you for your sacrifice and the sacrifices of your family as well, sir.
All right.
And may Allah continue to bless you. And I look forward to meeting you in person, inshallah. If I ever come to, well, I'm going to come to the East Coast, inshallah, but I want to come to Chester, and I would like to meet you and your family one day so that I can hear more of your amazing life, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What part of the country you at?
I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. Busy down there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't stop.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
hopefully.
And a brother named Leon says, thank you for sharing, Uncle. I'm assuming this is your nephew. Your nephew Leon says, thank you for sharing. Sister Aisha says,
Okay, my nephew's books. Okay. That's it. Okay.
yes.
I know him by his nickname more than the real name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, this is Brother Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam, brother. And I thank you again.
Thank you, sir. And thank you all for watching. Thank you, Sister Khadija Kareem, for holding it down with Sister Issa and Allah and all of them and assisting us with the background, assisting us with everything.
Allah bless you and all you do is good, brother.
Praise be to Allah. That means a lot to me, sir. Same to you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.